welcome to the Dragon's Tome. My name is Jack, and my friends here, there's Pat, and there's Rob. And yes, welcome back. I apologize for last week. We missed for the second time only in the runtime of this show. We missed a week. I'm not going to tell you why.
Pat was at
Three
Riot
hints.
Fest.
One, Rob got punched in the throat by a witch.
Yeah, that's
Two, I got LASIK. Or three, Pat went to Riot Fest to see Weird Al Yankovic.
That was the reason he went.
and Blink and Census Fail and
Pat was busy. Jack was sick.
You can't. I'm still sick. Let's not sugarcoat that.
That's fun.
Yes, but when you get the chance to do something you always wanted to do, sometimes a couple eggs got broken. So we're back. We're back. So
Back in black.
boys,
it means we never stopped loving you though.
that is true.
No, I went out
Which
for
is the
milk
name
and never
of-
came home back. I'm not here.
We all never came home back.
I was a little too close to home.
So how about we get into the magazine itself? We typically we go through Dragon Magazine. We've been doing it chronological order, and 203. Here we are with what you can't argue with a Bradstreet, but that is dynamite.
But
That-
it was a code.
Yeah, it's Bradstreet and Fred Fields.
And it is far too good to be just on a magazine. That should be on.
Well, there's many posters just like this. So
There is, and I wonder if I feel like there's something similar to this in a Shadowrun book somewhere. Not maybe this exact picture, but
It is very Shadowrun.
Those Bradstreet's kind of style.
or
With the guy.
he also did a lot of the White Wolf stuff. So
Oh, you know what? That's where I saw it. It was more vampires. It almost looks like the Brewhouse book.
yeah, he did a lot of those covers.
All right, I take that back. It wasn't Shadowrun. It was definitely white. It was definitely vampire.
And then then he did posters. I don't even know. Is this a poster on my wall? Is it a Bradstreet? It looks like it. It's a vampire poster. It might be.
Was that Confederate vampire one of
Yeah.
Bradstreet you had?
Yeah, that's the one that's on my wall.
Okay.
It's not because I
Okay.
like Confederates. It's because I like vampires.
He likes those good old boy vampires.
That's true.
Yeah,
Just a
nailed to
good
the gun.
old
It's
boy.
called. Later, we'll probably talk about the construction of said cover. Someone will, I'm sure. So it's cool.
Are we?
Maybe.
I didn't bring it up.
Spoilers.
Okay, well then let's get to the interior of the magazine. Now, typically we do 2 articles and then an ad each. So let's be respectful. Let's do that this time. Again, we are going to start with who's got. No one's wearing red. Do we go with Rob? Always goes first, I think. Okay, Rob, let's go first.
Okay, we'll do the editorial. Just get out of the way. Editorial by good old Dale Donovan. Once again, it's one of his classic editorials where he's promoting anything but TSR, and
And he's still a game junkie.
he always has to hype up Call of Cthulhu, even though they said he didn't talk about Call of Cthulhu in this, but he hypes it up anyways because he talks. He talks his favorites in each genre of games that aren't normal games. So he hyped up Call of Cthulhu because he talks about King Arthur Pendragon, which is also by Chaosium, and he likes that game. For horror, he talks about Lost Souls, where you play as a ghost, and it has lots of hype. I've never heard of that game, but it must at the time was the hotness. Probably when what's it called comes out, it probably destroys it to Wraith. Probably when White Wolf comes out, it probably just like takes over all its thunder because it's a similar type of game.
Yeah.
And then there's another horror called Whispering Vault, which you're a ghostly hunter going after rogue ghosts possessing people. Sci-fi, something called Metascape Guild Space. It's a space opera game. GM doesn't roll any dice, which is kind of cool. It's all on the PCs. Sci-fantasy, he talks about Amber Diceless. We've talked about Amber before. It's based on Zelensky's books, I think.
Amber is the color of your
Not
energy.
Zelensky. How does he name? I don't even pronounce his name. Anyways, no dice, and he says it's a great interpretation of the series. If you're into that series, you must own that book. Yeah. Other than that, that's about it. He just goes through a bunch of different games and talks about them. Donovan always never talking about CSR. I appreciate him.
Well, now that you've mentioned that, every time I read the editorial, I can't not see that you're right. He talks about Call of Cthulhu every time.
Yeah. He definitely loves his Call of Cthulhu, and that's who doesn't love Call of Cthulhu? Let's be
It's
honest.
true.
That's true.
It is a classic. So that's my first article.
Pat, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna go to page 24. Are you looking for work, Shummer?
Yeah, I was hoping for you to do this one because it's Shadowrun.
Yeah, so this is
one of mine. So we're cutting down the number. Just keep this.
Jack, you had to know he was going to do this one.
Why would I know he would do this one?
It's Shadowrun. Pat's obsessed with Shadowrun. You should have taken this before he did, because Pat's got 1,000 others.
Why don't you start?
You got to be more strategic here, buddy.
There's a system. There's rules.
We're breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules.
If I have to have the moral high ground at all times, and I can't get that by breaking rules.
So this is a brief description of the various type of works that Shadowrunners get throughout the game. It talks about the mission types, what you can expect. It's fairly straightforward in its sense, especially if you are a big fan of Mercenary for Hire movies and things like that. Any of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies can fit in any one of these genres of missions. And then at the end, you get 5 quick one-shots at the end that he talks about. Little outlines on how to throw out a couple of one-shots. While the article is great, and it just, it gives people who's not used to this kind of genre or any of that kind of work, more fantasy fiction, it gives you kind of an idea of what you can run for a one-shot, in a sense. But I do disagree with this one point. At one point, he states that players in Shadow almost have to play multiple characters in order to succeed in any of the missions, and I just don't agree with that.
I guess if you have a small group, you do, but
but has he never played with NPCs? If you need to help them out, you can give them an NPC. It's not unheard of. That's not a new concept. In role-playing games, in that sense. And even if you have 4 or 5 guys, the way Shadowrun is built with the skills and everything else, you can cover all bases with just 3 or 4 characters. You're not going to be excelling at it. You might have, but you're definitely not at a disadvantage where it has to force you to play a second character.
If your party doesn't like playing a Decker for any number of reasons,
well, at this point, no one should be playing a Decker in this version of Shadowrun.
Then don't have any of those kind of skill checks or
you just have NPC and hand wave it.
Do like I said, you just have how you hire a Decker, and then your GM just kind of plays it through for you as an NPC. You don't have to make any rolls.
Just hand wave it through that they always succeed, and just
roll to see if the Decker trips an alarm off for them or doesn't get through. It's not in his sense, mandatory that you have to get a second character.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Anything else you got to add, Jack?
No, at first I was reading the article and I thought these types of missions could, be pretty generic, like even though fantasy, if you wanted to really just tweak it. I was like, this article is nothing new. I did enjoy the samples, and he brought all the flavor of Shadowrun, used like the terminology, like that, and really elevated it. For me, I was like, swing and miss. Oh, wait.
Yeah, like I said, the mission types are fairly generic. Like any 80s Schwarzenegger movie covers every one of these descriptions of like smuggling, espionage, wet work. You throw Jean-Claude Van Damme in, and then you cover the whole article.
Splits.
doing the splits.
Combat. There you go. You know, it's what was that movie he did? What was his first movie? Bloodsport.
Universal Soldier.
Bloodsport.
Predator.
The Dim Muck.
Predator was his first movie. He just got fired from it.
No, I was talking about Jean-Claude.
Yeah, he was a Predator in Predator originally.
He was the Predator.
Oh, you're right. He was the Predator.
He got fired.
And looked ridiculous.
He looked ridiculous.
He did.
It was probably the best thing for that movie.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay, well then, I guess
my
I'd better get my book, so when you say that's my article, I'm prepared. And don't make a spectacle.
Spectacles.
Oh, you're ready.
Spectacles.
I just made a spectacle. Okay, for my first and last, can we go to page 36, please?
Oh, that was one of mine.
We're on the same wavelength by the looks of it. This is the arcane lore section, and this is the blue books of Ulfithesar de Mord by Leonard A. Schmidt. And this is for Forgotten Realms, some spell books and lightning-based spells to give to a to an NPC or such. It starts with the the appearance of the books, gives a little brief history of how they got lost, and
it's very Dr. Greenwood-esque description, like when he would do his spell books for that one set of articles he always does. I always forget what it's called now.
Yeah. It seems to be that seems to be the winning formula for making items. And like I said, it's mostly electricity or lightning-based spells. So if you wanted to make a build around that kind of thing, it's right here for you. There's what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe 6 or 7 spells, and they were all quite interesting. Some of them were a little derivative, but others were quite ones where I would be like, oh, I can see almost there was a like, oh, why hadn't that been before?
Yeah, I mean, if you were playing an evoker, this is almost a must-have if you can get your hand on these spells, because it is supposed to be a lost spell book. I do want to add, though, I don't know how I feel about the level 2 lightning strike spell. It doesn't seem too overpowered, but in the right hands, a magic missile can kill someone too. So I was like, maybe it's a little.
It's better than magic missile, yeah.
I think they wrote that it was supposed to be a mid between a magic missile and a lightning bolt. It was kind of like, hey, it's a mid ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play magic users, so it's all speculation to me, but hopefully there was enough thought given to maybe for a little bit of balance anyways.
I don't like how it splits. It should be just a single target, but other than that, it's all right.
Oh, because it does fork like a.
Yeah,
so that's a little too powerful to do a lot of damage to
saying.
2 different people.
I think it's a bit overpowered for a second level spell.
Yeah, if it was one target, I'd be like, that's fine, because it's 1d6 damage. It's slightly better than the magic missile, which is 1d4.
Yeah,
right?
which is no, it's 2d5, 1d4 plus 5, or 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, fun.
And as we all know, you can kill someone if you hit him in the back with a magic missile when they're trying to run out the door.
Jack, murderer.
I've never used a magic missile in my life, nor a lightning bolt, I'm not the magic man. I'm just this lovable little rogue.
Yeah. You're in charge of this thing.
Yeah. I was just wistfully thinking about my little gnome.
Oh.
Okay, Rob, what's your second article?
Since I mentioned it, I might as well talk about the cover. Page 73, I think. Yeah. Color for Collaboration. The cover, How They Did It, by Timothy Bradstreet and Fred Fields. I always thought Bradstreet was the guy who did all like the coloring and everything, but it seems it's Fields who's the color guy. Bradstreet does all the illustrations, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know Bradstreet was known as a comic book guy at this time either. I wasn't aware of that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know he was.
I've always just known him as covers. Like that's the covers and posters.
And he's done some fairly well-known titles.
Yeah, I never knew. But anyways, it has a breakdown of all how it's done. He gives they have like a model just kind of stand there to get the lighting, and then he does sketches
which, if you glance at him, looks like Alex Van Halen.
He does look like Alex Van Halen. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yes, Alex Van Halen's still alive.
Oh, I didn't say. No, okay, I was not making a. No, Alex Van Halen does not look like this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's old.
No,
yes.
He's definitely old.
He's very old. You thought I was. That is tasteless.
You're the one who said it. You implied he was dead. Anyways, yeah, it's interesting that it's really interesting how they break down the cover. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I do like how they talk about how they added all the ricocheting or the bullet tracers around him.
Yeah, just all the different effects they did, and all the tattoos. He gave him like pictures of tattoos to add to the picture. The colorist did all the tattoos, so it's just kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a neat collaboration, and I'm curious if all the covers are collaborating between these two, or is it just Bradstreet learns how to do it after this? You know, because a lot of them look like this.
That's a good question. I think this was just the one-time deal for them, wasn't it? That's how it kind of read to me.
This was the first. It could be like the future collaboration for the ages. This is the early days, but it is funny that.
Well, I mean, because the first sentence it just says Fred's never done it. Timmy's done it a couple times. And
that's why it's the first time.
Yeah,
it could have more after this.
Oh, so is that what you're saying? I thought that you were saying that they were doing it before this.
No. I'm saying in the future, when all of Bradstreet's covers and all his stuff with his great colors like this, is it Fields doing it, or did Bradstreet learn how to do it from Fields? That's my question.
That's a good question.
Or is it other people?
Yeah. Anyways, cool stuff, cool beans, as the kids say.
Yes, it seeing the like the transformation from like the sample art to where you go, okay, you know, that's all right. When it's done, it's like, oh, that they chose the right tattoos, they chose the right amount of greeblies that he's carrying around. Like it becomes iconic. I thought it looked like a Shadowrun. Mm-hmm. Like should have been on a Shadowrun book or something like that.
Or Cyberpunk for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, even his head tattoo looks very Shadowrun.
Yes, that serpent that comes up the thing. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Faux show.
Okay. Patrick, do you have a second article?
I do. Let's go to page. Let's go up the way here to page 76. Oh. The Plain Truth. Now that we know this is coming out by Mr. Zeb Cook.
Planescape.
This is basically a quick rundown of the City of Sigil, which is the main sigil in the Planescape campaign setting if you've never played it. It's told in the way of some sage describing Sigil and all the factions and everything in it and such. So it even talks about the Lady of Pain, how she's the guardian of Sigil, and how she just, when she does show up, people die.
Yeah, she's the person on the cover with the headdress.
Yes. And talks about it's just City of Portals, how you have to kind of work your way, get an audience to get to the portal if you want to get out of the city. But it's just the beginning, because apparently I think this is gonna, what I read, it's gonna become like with the part one signifying that there's gonna be more parts to Planescape and escaping and describing more on the campaign, because I think they're really trying to get this thing to take off. My friend Joe was the one who loved Planescape, and we played maybe one game of Planescape and then never saw it again.
It is one of those things where you have to really buy into the setting, and if all your players aren't buying in, it's hard to get it on the table. It's like Spelljammer, same idea.
Exactly, and I didn't think Planescape was horrible, but it just kind of wasn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Planes. We know we're not fans of planes.
Yeah, well, just because in Sigil, just everyone is there. Everyone and everything is there. But in itself, the campaign itself is or the setting and how he describes it, it's kind of nice. And then, reading this might, if you've never seen it or if you're new to all this, it might wet your whistle or it might hook you, and then you'll have to go to eBay and find the box set.
There's a lot.
Did they make a 5th edition Planescape?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did either.
New.
So
I have no idea. I just know that at this point they were taking Greyhawk, and they were taking what else? A couple other settings out into a field to put a bullet in behind their ear. And
well, I think around this time they're getting ready to put Greyhawk and Mystara to bed for D&D, but we're trying to port it into AD&D.
Well, Mystara they still are putting in an AD&D, but I think Greyhawk and what was the other one that they around this time they were just like it's done, no more. So that they must have said all hands on deck to try and make this.
I don't
work.
think Dragonlance was still around at this point. They still had books, but I don't think the actual setting was around anymore. And
yeah, I think everyone was getting Dragonlance burnout.
They still had some books.
I know I did.
And yeah, I don't remember the other settings. Ravenloft is obviously huge right now for some reason, but probably because Vampire.
And it's the one we know really does carry for years to come. So
yeah, a lot of these are flash in the pan. Even Planescape or the other one was the desert one.
Oh,
Al-Qadim or whatever.
Dark Sun and Al-Qadim was
both of them. Yeah,
Al-Qadim was the Middle Eastern one.
Yeah, those ones are kind of gone. Prince
of Persia.
Well, I'll get to it eventually in one of my articles, but Braun's no longer with the company, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Speak of the devil.
Well, speaking of which, I've already used up. Pat sniped one of mine, so I'm going to allow between the two of you decide who wants to do one more article on my behalf.
Okay, we're going to do 20 more articles on your behalf, but let's go to page 90.
What?
Rumblings. This is like the new thing. It's like gossip. My favorite thing. There's a gossip article, guys. This is awesome. Dale Donovan has put some real thought into this stuff. I don't give Mohan any credit because I think he's just sitting at a desk collecting money. But this whole magazine, do you feel it's like a shift in, like, it seems glossier almost. It seems like they're finally hitting the 90s. It seems like it's a step up from even the cover and everything. It looks.
If we're going to change, the cover's changed. I mean, the numbers, the font from the numbers have changed.
It definitely feels like
the logo's still the same.
Yeah.
But it's definitely bigger and brighter for the number now, so you know what issue you're getting.
Yeah, it seems like you can tell there's a new editor. That's what I'm saying.
And it does seem like the articles fit within like the sometimes the game wizards, and then you'd get something like it would just be something kind of like it seems like they've tightened up the ship a little bit. They've like kind of like, okay guys, let's a little consistency.
Yeah. So anyway, the rumblings. It's a bunch of rumors and news amongst the whole industry, not just TSR. But Mayfair Games is let the DC license lapse, and they fired everyone from their RPG section, including Chill and Underground. They're like, yep, we're done. They said Chill will be periodically supported, but didn't renew the DC license.
Yeah, that's.
And Mayfair's focusing on train board games. They're out of their RPG business. Was it writing on the wall from card games or what? They were just like, we're out. So Mayfair is pretty much done. We won't be seeing any more Mayfair stuff. Yeah, like I said, Braun leaves TSR, but Paul, later Janelle Jacquet, and Larry Elmore are back on staff, so they came back in black. And then, speaking of Wizards of the Coast, they hired Jonathan Tweet and brought Ars Magica from White Wolf. So they're starting to acquire things, as we know that Wizards of the Coast likes to do. So this is the beginning. And last but not leastly is Sandy Peterson joins id Software and starts designing for Doom. We knew it was happening, and it's official now that he's on the Doom train. So fun times. I love rumors and news from around the gaming industry, and I'm glad Rumblings is here. So, there you go.
Some old news is good news.
Some old news, good news.
With Gary Gnu.
Just gonna go there.
Well, I don't care for rumblings, and I don't think I'll ever read the rumblings. So I'm going to say that wasn't my article on you guys. So I'm going to give you one more that would be my article.
I just got a quick shout out.
Okay, and then we'll one shout
114.
14 is one of my shoutouts too.
114.
Oh, 114. 14's 114.
And it's the little figure right there in the front.
The Gob Smasher?
Red thing that someone painted. The Gob Smasher. I had this model, and he reviews in this thing Epicast, which was probably one of the first resin companies that I know. And it wasn't great resin, let me tell you, because it was full of bubbles and pock marks from the bubbles. But these guys were working with GW at the time and putting out resin models for the 28 millimeter.
Is this what it becomes Forge World eventually?
Well, yeah. I think it goes to Armorcast, and then Armorcast gets absorbed or just cease and desist, and they make their own Forge World. Comes together. So, but I had the Gob Smasher, and I had 2 battle wagons. And when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, Epicast." I remember these things, and that got. While it looks like it's kind of nice, but this thing right here, just whoever was casting the resin wasn't very good at it. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, it was a new technology probably at the time, so they're just trying to learn.
Yeah, but it was nice to have these. At the time back in the '90s, it was like, "Oh, look at this thing! I can have a Gob Smasher now." But you would normally just play with the little Epic tanks that you can get. They were making 28 for the 20. Or from the Epic, the 6 mil scale tanks.
So you're just scaling them up?
Yeah.
So
and they were making the Gargants. Forge World took it to the next level, but they were making the giant Gargants like John Bear Ross would do. But I think it's cool. I don't think he gave him a very high rating though, did he? Oh no, he did. He gave him 4.5. The Gob Smasher.
There you go. He loves Gob Smashers.
Yeah. Well, it's orc. What are you gonna do? But I do remember, because what I remember is drilling into some of the battle wagons, because in 2nd edition 40K you could put as many people, you could transport as many models that can stay on it, and if they fall off they died when you moved the thing. So I put a canopy of chicken wire and hung all the orcs by their axes on the top.
Cheater.
It just that was them as the rules, buddy.
I thought you were going to say I magnetized it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it was far more ghetto than that.
Probably didn't have magnets back then like that.
By far, yeah. I don't think people thought about magnetizing things back then.
Yeah.
But the chicken wire thing went rampant as far as orc transports were concerned.
I bet if that was the rule, it would be abused. It explains why it's not the rule anymore, because it was
yeah. 100%. But that was my quick shout out. Do you have another quick shout out you said, Rob?
Oh, I have like 4 shout outs, but I have one more article.
All right, go ahead.
84 role playing reviews. I just like this one. It was funny. It's by Rick Swan, because he really shits on the Buck Rogers game. and he loves Battle Space and Macross 2. He says not much of a role playing game, but it's a fun mech game. But he rips Buck Rogers apart. He's just like, yeah, why they keep trying.
Buck Rogers, do you know?
This one? This version? Who fuck knows?
Yeah,
Jeff Grubb in this case. Yeah. He gives it 2.5 stars.
He does pretty all right with Jeff Grubb, I think.
But he just makes fun of that. They tried it like 18 different times. Like it's like his comic book fizzled. The XXVC game never caught fire. His novels disappeared in the black hole. And he's like, this is an entry level RPG in the 30s, more campy. And it's pretty simple. He says super simple, even compared to Marvel superheroes. Like it's like a real dumbed down version of a role playing game. So it's pretty funny.
Oh, compares it to the Space 1889 game design workshop.
It's
RPG.
Probably similar, yeah.
He says it's a pale comparison, and I'm just not reading that part.
Yeah. Anyways, so pretty funny.
It's gotta stink if you're working at a place and they say we own this, we own this IP. We need to do something to keep it, and you're thinking, oh, okay, good, go ahead. I have no interest in it. I wouldn't even know where to start. And it's your job. Oh,
no.
Like, what are you gonna do with it? Like,
we tried this. We tried modernizing it. We tried going to cereals. Now let's just make it a pulp, 30s pulp thing.
And it's your job. And how would you find the I don't know, the spark or the I don't know. Oh well, I sling metal in a factory for 10 hours, so maybe I'm the dummy. Write a book Rogers game and be happy, I guess.
I assume you're done, Pat?
As far as articles are concerned, yeah.
Okay, we're just going to go through a bunch of real quick ones here. Page 16 is Terribly Twisted Technology. I don't know. It's a weird title. But it's
now, this is the one I left for Pat. You were chastising me for taking a Shadowrun. This one and the one above it, both of them had Pat's stench all over them.
Well, the other one was Gamma World. This one's Over the Edge, which is, I don't know why Pat would want to care about Over the Edge, but I don't care about the Over the Edge. The reason I brought this up is because Robin D. Laws wrote it, and this is the first time I think we've seen his name in the magazine. But he's pretty famous. He's designed a lot of RPGs and contributes to Pelgrane Press for Cthulhu stuff. And he wrote a book called Hamlet's Hit Points, which is like detailing how to plot out adventures using plot points and timing. Like, it's a must-read for GMs. He also does a podcast with Kenneth Haidt, another huge designer, and called Kevin and Robin Talk About Stuff. He's a good Canadian boy. He lives in Toronto, and I just want to give him a shout out. And yeah, otherwise this article is just a lot about items for a game I never heard of. So
yeah, that's the reason why I didn't do it, because I didn't know anything about Over the Edge.
No. My next quick hit's on page 43. It's this whole amazing engine system, like insert in the middle of the magazine. It must not be selling well. Pretty much give away the whole system here. This is like
yeah, I saw that this went on for page upon page.
Yeah, it's the whole system, I think, that they just threw in the middle of the magazine. They're like, look, it's a good game. Play it, please play it. Anyways, I just want to make fun of that. Where else do I got here? I do have another quick one.
Did anyone try and read through it? Did anyone
No,
try?
I didn't, because it didn't interest me.
I'm not a good learn by rules guy like that. And man,
I skimmed it, but it didn't pull me in. I was like,
yeah, I didn't care about it. Page 6 is my last quick shout out, because it's just a question. The very first one's a legal faux pas. This guy talks about he made a rule book for an AD&D game and wants to publish it, and he's like, you can't do that. But I was curious when the OGL starts, because obviously then you can. It must be, I don't know when it starts. Not till the 2000s, I assume. But it's just funny that this guy's like, I want to do this, and he's like, fuck you, you can't do this. And then later they're like, okay, you can do this.
well, I mean, you could do it, but you just can't call it D&D, right?
Wow.
You just can't sell it.
You can sell it if it was legally distinct enough from it. You can't, because you can't copyright rules. So like all the old D&D rules, you can't copyright those. You can copyright terms, but you can't copyright the actual mechanics. So, but it's that kind of stuff. Because that's why, like, everybody's, like, for a while there, everybody's games were Magic the Gathering, but they couldn't call it tapping. They had to call it something else, because you can do the rules, but you can't use the actual terms, which is always funny. I think that's my last one, guys. There was another one, but it was just that those articles, the first quest articles, they're kind of meh. But I had it just in case somebody else stole all my other 18 of them. So
yes, the statistical probability that I had invited 7 more people, 7 more hosts to come on, and Mr. Greenwood, what would you do? And Rob's over there going, that was my last one. Yeah. Ed, you bastard. Okay, well, I think we were all pent up after missing last week. Everyone had a bit of Dragon Tome blue balls, so we've got that out of our system now. We can get back to some rules, some normalcy. Okay, so we're going to go from the articles to the ads, and if we might be so bold, can I go first because
Yeah,
I
because
haven't
we're going to steal
had
your
any
ads.
input in an hour and a half?
You're running this show.
Okay. Okay, if we could go to page 80, please.
Oh, that was mine.
If books could kill, tech, mercs, guns, rules, vehicles, Fields of Fire, source book for Shadowrun. Now, I will say that this is 94. We were just wrapping up our Shadowrun. We were out of high school at this point, and we were wrapping up our role-playing games. For the most part, Shadowrun was done. So I don't recognize if this is the cover to the book, if this is just an ad for the book. I don't remember the book.
It's not the cover.
It's not the cover. This is just an ad.
So but I do not remember the book that it's referencing.
Oh, it's a
field guide.
It was like it was like a field guide. It was just more weapons, more stuff, more.
What's the other one that they always put out? They had another one that they always, or was that Cyberpunk that they always put out?
Street Samurai Catalog is the other.
Street Samurai. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was another set. This one, well, the Street Samurai Catalog was more specific for Street Samurais with guns and stuff. This one added vehicles for riggers, and there was some more tech for deckers and stuff like that. And then there was like the mercenary NPCs I think you can get, and there's definitely a ton more weapons in there.
Cool.
Oh. I didn't remember it, but once you said Street Samurai Catalog, I was like, oh, I remember those. So maybe I did see this at some point. Maybe it did make the rounds, but
yeah, this is one of the second edition, coming close to third edition kind of. It didn't cross over, but it's at the tail end of all the source books for second edition.
Okay, that was my ad. How about Rob? How about we do yours?
Okay, let's go to page 9. It's another Wraith ad. It's
9.
They love
this one. They actually say Wraith this time.
Yeah, they finally announced that it's actually Wraith, and it's just a wall of text. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. You've been warned. Don't run home to mama. But it's they're really hyping up the psychological impact of this game on people's brains, which, from my memory, it doesn't go over that well. But
I don't remember Wraith at all, and I don't think we ever played it or read it, so I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I don't think it was. It wasn't werewolf. It wasn't vampire.
Was it supposed to be like a paranoid then, or something?
No, you're a
version of paranoid.
You're a ghost, I think, and you possess people.
I seem to remember that it came out. Wraith came out. Everyone was still doing vampire, and just when I thought maybe this one might get some traction because there had been some other flubs, I think then the second edition of the lycanthropy one, the werewolf, came out, and I remember this was just kind of like smushed into the like it was long forgotten.
Werewolf and vampire just overwhelmed it.
They're really just trying to capitalize, I think, at that point with the whole classic monster rulebook for every classic monster out there. I'm surprised they didn't even have homunculus, for Frankenstein monster kind of rules. You could have called it homunculus.
Homunculus, it's hard to say. Yeah, that's my ad.
Okay. And much like the name of the book is about the doctor, not the monster. Pat, what's your ad?
Page 7.
This is one of mine too. There she is.
This is definitely Planescape. There's the Lady of Pain. Now, my reason for even putting this out is I just wanted to point out in classic Dragon Magazine style, you have the ad that teases it right before you have a whole article explaining the whole thing.
Without putting the name on it, yeah.
Without putting the name on it. So I was like, oh, God, here we go. I go, oh, Planescape. And then I got to the article I covered with the Plain Truth article, and I was like, oh, man, they did it again. They give you the teaser ad without telling you what it is, and then they just give you a whole description of what it's called.
Yeah, not much of a teaser when you describe the game later in the magazine.
So,
well, It is a tease because they don't tell you this is Planescape, so you're like, I assume it is.
That whatever that Planescape sounds stupid, but I love this ad. Whatever that is. Is that a real sculpture? I'm all in.
True.
That's my ad.
Okay, well then that is.
No, I got another ad.
Well, how can that be? I just said we were tightening the ship up. Blue
Page
balls was over.
65. I just want to say yet another amazing engine setting that we don't need. King Arthur and his knights in the Camelot in the future. Wasn't there a cartoon about that?
Why wouldn't you even have a book when they just gave you the rules?
Well, now you have the setting. It's all about the settings.
Setting, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think there was a cartoon that was like that. There was Jason the Argonauts in the future. I know that. Was there a Camelot one? I think there was. Camelot 2000.
I know there was a Texas one.
Lone Star.
Cowboy. Yeah, who used to ride a horse that looked like this thing.
The horse transformed into a guy.
Yeah, with a big shotgun.
Yeah. There was a comic book called Camelot 2000. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yep.
Right.
There you go. Another
Bravestar had some good enemies.
Tex Hex,
Cactus Jack had the that was a good show.
And then they did the Sherlock Holmes in the future spin-off of it for like one episode, tried to make a pilot out of it, and it didn't work.
I don't remember that.
It was great.
Would you rather see Bravestar or Thundar the Barbarian come back as a modern take?
I grew up on Thundar, so I'm going to say Thundar. Though I did enjoy Bravestar.
I think Bravestar had a better setting. That's all. Thundar was kind of just Conan.
Yeah. In a sense. But it was also... I think Thundar was a couple of years ahead, so...
Yeah, it was.
It's still that Hanna-Barbera cartoony thing. So
the cartooning wasn't great.
It didn't have the same animation as Bravestar.
For sure. A lot of repeated backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Good question, Jack, though. This was a short episode, so I'm glad you were trying to extend it.
Yes.
Well,
so in the spirit of extending it, let's go to page 63 real quick.
Oh, I thought it was over.
What page?
63.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll get in. We're just talking about it. This is the video game.
The Genius Curse. So when I saw this thing, I thought I played all the SSI D&D games, and I think I missed this one because I do not remember this game.
There's a lot of them. There was 112 of them or something like that.
Yeah, and I was pretty on board with it, because this is the time when we were pirating games and you know.
It's funny you mention that because somewhere in this magazine it says that the Al-Qadim Genie's Curse game has been canceled. So I don't know.
I think it was delayed. I think it said it was delayed.
I saw that too. It said delayed, but I didn't see.
So maybe it never did come out, though, right? You're right. Maybe it never did come out.
So my thought is, well, maybe you didn't see it because delayed meant,
Eventually,
maybe that's why I never played it. Because
I
was pretty on board with getting. Because SSI at the time was kind of like one of my favorite companies that put out games, because they put out
that makes sense.
A World War II game called Panzer General that I loved. That was awesome.
It's based on a board game.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Jack. I think you might be onto something there.
That's just a speculation.
Well, comment below if you know that if the game ever came out or not, because I don't remember this game, and I would have played it. So.
Okay, well then, how about we wrap this episode up? We're back. We don't have anything scheduled, maybe, unless Weird Al starts playing in some sort of festival. We're gonna keep doing this for a little while longer. You gents, you're gonna come back next week?
Y'all?
I'll be here.
Okay.
We'll see how I feel.
Okay. And are we gonna follow the rules next week?
Yeah, it's because it's Pat's turn.
It's true.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.